Hi everyone. Today is Friday the 8th of April and I hope you've had a wonderful week with your prayer time, and we are going to continue today on the topic of prayer and using the little acronym that we spoke about last week called ACTS. Remember, it stands for adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication, which is prayer for others and prayer for ourselves. Today we're going to look at confession. What does confession really involve? We know that we have to come before God and confess our sins so that He can forgive us. We read in the book of 1 John 1 verse 8, "If we claim to be without sin, we deceive ourselves and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, He is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness. If we claim we have not sinned, we make Him out to be a liar, and His word has no place in our lives." So we do need to admit that we are sinners and come to Him with penitent hearts and say sorry. But what is that all about? Sometimes people think that confession is merely saying, "I'm sorry." But actually, true confession involves a lot more than just the words, "I'm sorry." In order to be truly sorry for something, we have to own the thing we did. You know, in church on a Sunday, we tend to come and we kneel down and we say together, "Lord, forgive us for all the things that we've done in thought, word, and deed." And sometimes I wonder if we even think about what those are. They're just words that we use. But when we're being really sincere, we need to think about those thoughts, those words, and those deeds that we did, which caused great offense, not only to God, but to others. And not only to others, but to God. Because when we are unloving or uncaring or insensitive or deliberately offensive towards someone, we are hurting God and not just the other person. And we need to remember that as Christians. So when someone does something to us and we want to forgive them, or we've done something to them and we want their forgiveness, we have to usually address the very specific thing we did. It doesn't help to just say, "Oh, well, sorry if I hurt your feelings." We need to say, "I'm sorry that I said what I said or I did what I did because I really shouldn't have done that. I need to almost retract what I said or did." And the reason that we confess in thought, word, and deed is we sometimes only think of the things that other people are aware of, other people saw us doing, or other people heard us saying. But God knows everything, and so it has to be thought, word, and deed. And if it were possible to display all our thoughts up on a projector on the wall, I think we'd want to run 1,000 miles before we wanted anyone to see some of the thoughts we've had. They could just be thoughts of selfishness, thoughts of spitefulness, thoughts of anger, thoughts of wanting to hurt someone or wanting to get our own back at someone. Those are the kind of thoughts that grievously cause hurt, not only to the other person if they were to see the thoughts, but God sees them and God knows what we've been thinking. So in order to really confess our sins, I believe we need to really come before God and be honest. It involves honesty. It doesn't help to say, "Lord, forgive me for all my sins." That's a bit general. Of course, He does forgive us for all our sins. But we need to own the particular thing that we said or did or thought. So when you come to God in confession, spend a bit of time. Give yourself enough time to think through the last few days, the last few weeks maybe, or even the last few hours. And think about what you did and said and thought. And bring the specifics to God, because every specific sin that we bring to God and say, Lord, I did that, I said that, and I thought that, and I confess it, and I admit that it was wrong, and I'm asking you to forgive me, then we can know that that sin is forgiven and taken away. It does a lot more for us, as well as the fact that God really appreciates honesty. So when we come to God in honesty and we confess the particular sins that we've done, He forgives them specifically. A general confession is fine. That's what we do in church. We're not expected to come to church and confess our very particular sins in front of everybody else. But let's confess them before God. And you'll get a lot more peace of mind when you've confessed them specifically than when you've just generalized them. So I hope you had a good week, improving on your, shall we say, your means of adoring God last week. And as we lead into Holy Week this week, we go through Palm Sunday, this coming Sunday. And there's a kind of combination of both, because on Palm Sunday, everybody in the crowds adored the Messiah. They hailed him as king. And then they cried for his blood. And as we know, as we go through Holy Week and as we lead up to Good Friday, we will be doing a lot of thinking about penitence, a lot of self-reflection, and confessing in penitence the things that we have done, which in a way put Christ on the cross. So let's make that transition this week. Come and worship God on Sunday. Bring your adoration, and then do a lot of self-reflection and confess to God the specific things that you've done in thought, word, and deed. Have a blessed weekend. I hope that you will be able to get to church somewhere on Sunday, if you're not at your home church, to begin the Easter proceedings with Palm Sunday. God bless you.